joystick in hand like a reckless child. Arcade buzzing, electric fire, chasing scores higher, higher, higher. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Pixel warriors on a glowing screen, 8-bit heroes in a crazy dream. Coins drop clinking like a metal song. Game over flash, but I'm still headstrong. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Synths and shred and set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. High scores flashing in the midnight glow. Synths and shred and set the tempo flow. Leather jackets and teased up hair. Living legends, we don't care. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more go, one more life, trick haze. Push the button, hear the roar. Fight the battle, craving more. Game of legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Electric haze on a battle floor. Digital ghosts knock at the door. One more life, it's do or die. Final level, reaching for the sky. Legends in my veins. Pixelated dreams remain. Oh. Neon lights burn the night so wild. Joystick in hand like a reckless child. Arcade buzzing, electric fire. Chasing scores higher, 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 higher.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Nation Network. Vince McSham with you, and it is time to say the two magic words, Game On. When I started doing Game On, it was not a thought in my mind that I would be spending most of it on one particular game. I knew I'd be spending a part of it there because it's a massive part of what the channel's all about. But, damn, we got some stuff to talk about. 2K. Those of you that know me know that I am a person of faith, okay? And normally I don't do this online, but I'm going to today. And that is, I would ask all of you to join with me, bow your heads in prayer, close your eyes, and Lord, I pray of you, if this can't be fixed, can you please, and I know you've got bigger things going on, but can you please see to it that 2K goes bankrupt in the next 12 months? That's all I ask. Just bury this company if they can't get their stuff together. Amen. Now we can move forward, I suppose. We got some news to catch up on. Since last I shared the plight and how this is going to affect this channel moving forward. Andrew Roberts in the house, by the way. How you doing, sir? Thanks for being here. You guys all know my game's been crashing every time I go to Community Creations. Then I went and I installed my backup account. My alternate account, probably the better way to put it. I hadn't used it in over 15 years, but I said, okay, people were telling me that by doing that last year and getting on their other account, all of a sudden it worked in their main account. Hey, I'm willing to try anything, right? So I went over to the alternate account, and lo and behold, everything over there works fine. Well, it's 2K, so there's that. But so far as I can get into Community Creations, I can upload and download and all the things you'd want to do in Community Creations. I can do it on my second account. Come back to my main account. Nothing. Didn't change. Crash, 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 automatically. The only thing Community Creations I can do is upload logos and download the logos that I uploaded. That is it. I cannot upload any of my stuff. I cannot download any of anyone else's stuff. And it's been that way from launch. Then I go back and forth. First, I was going back and forth with PlayStation, thinking they were the culprits because 2K assured me they were. They ran their basic stuff on their end and said, nothing we can do here, but at this time you qualify for a refund if you want it. I said, let me think it over. Let me do some more research on my end before we pull, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, as the old saying goes. So that said, ChatGPT has become a good, close, personal friend of mine over the last several weeks with all these issues going on. Let me see. Do I have it right here? I do have it right here. And in a nutshell, this is how far back we're going. It had me do several things. One of the key things it had me doing was going to the 2K website to disconnect my PlayStation account from them. The problem with that is this game can't be played unless you have an active account with 2K. You can do the basics of it, but you're not going to have any unlocks or anything like that. And anything that requires progression, not without. And it's already got me thinking, okay, so their servers go down and we can't do anything in our game? Is that the way that's going to work? I think so. And I've never had a game like that. I mean, you can look back at games like Division, where you wouldn't be able to really play it online if their servers are down. I get that, but you could still, do some of your own local stuff. Whereas with this, no, I don't think so. I think that you end up losing that if you're not actively linked into 2K. So anyway, moving onwards and upwards, as they say, what we were doing, because chat asked me to, is checking on different scenarios, because it says that, well, it works on the same console. So, and this is why their answer doesn't fully add up. Let me get back to this before we move forward. So I write to them basically explaining to them, this is not a Sony thing, it is a you thing. And I basically copy and pasted what chat had written, which was, it's a server-based issue. We need, for you to please look at rectifying my creations account on your end and finding where the issue is. It's not local. And of course they said, no, that's not true. What you'll have to do is you'll have to delete your save file. Now keep in mind, I've already reset the entire PlayStation, right? PlayStation 5 reset to factory standards. So all that stuff that I had in there has to be reloaded in again. Time consuming. And didn't fix the problem, number one. So then we have the fact that it does work on my second account. So it's not the console. We've eliminated that. It's not the game install, which, by the way, I've installed it 3 times now. It's not that. It's not the cache. We've wiped that out. It's not that. But they keep on wanting to deflect back and say, no, it's not on our end. There's nothing we can do about it. You have to do this. And the last thing they have told me to do was they wanted me to delete the save data. And as they so eloquently put it, let me read the email from 2K. Thank you for reacting or for reaching back. My name is Hamza. Stateside, I'm sure. My name is Hamza, and I'll be taking over this ticket on behalf of my colleague. That's what they do. They just pass it along to the next person. I appreciate your effort in trying to I'm going to try this again. I appreciate your effort in trying different troubleshooting steps and the information you've provided. Since this issue only occurs with your main PSN account, this means that your save data is corrupted. Wrong. I'll show you why. Causing this crash. Let's try deleting your WWE 2K save data from your console. You can follow the link below. Like, I don't know how to delete data. Please take note that you may lose in-game progress and created content after this, and we are not able to recover it from our part. I appreciate your understanding. Oh, I understand. I understand that you're a bunch of incompetent assholes. That's what I understand. First off, it is not local, and we're going to prove that. And we did. So I sent all her response back to chat, and chat's like, no. Chat's like, no, don't do that so quickly. Actually, here's the exact quote, which I loved. Yeah, don't delete that save yet. Based on everything you've described, their conclusion is very likely wrong or incomplete, and you still have safer options to try first. This is 2K. They don't give a fuck, and they're stupid. 2K, you guys suck. You're bad at what you do. I mean, not just a little bit bad. Bad. Like, you shouldn't be doing it. You should be shoveling french fries somewhere. That's what you should be doing. Don't be anywhere near computers. It's not your thing. It's clearly not your thing. It's not my thing, and I stay away from them other than the one I operate, but I would not go to work for a company like 2K. I'm not qualified. Neither are you. The difference is I know it. Why their answer doesn't fully add up, because it works on the same console. It works on a different account. And then the only issue is that it crashes on your main account and then only when accessing community creations. That pattern usually points to account-specific data, 2K server side, not local save corruption. This is common sense. If your save files were in fact truly corrupted, you'd likely see crashes in other modes, issues loading Universe, MyRise, etc., or problems even outside of community creations, which I've had none. Don't delete your save yet. No worries, I wasn't planning to. Try these first. Force a fresh sync. Upload your save to PlayStation Cloud, which of course I always do. Then delete the local save only, and then re-download it from the cloud. Did all that, didn't fix the problem. Disconnect and reconnect your 2K account. This is a big one, he says, that people overlook. Go to your 2K portal, log in with your account, unlink your PSN account, restart the console, launch the game, and relink. That's when I kind of got to that point where it's like you can't really launch the game if it's not relinked first because it won't allow it. Then it goes on to say you can clear reserved space, cache, things of that nature, which we've already done that. Test a clean online state. And this is important. Go offline. So I turn off the server or the internet. Launch the game. Then reconnect and go straight to community creations. Now, again, with it turned off, you can, when I say you get into the base, I mean the very base of the game. You like nothing is unlocked. None of your content is there. It is ghost town. And when you go to community creations, it's just like a little grayed out option. It's not even a real, you can't select it. Then I turn on the Wi-Fi, jump right back in, hit community creations, and yep, crashes right again. And that brings us a little bit more up to where we're at right now. Their suggestion assumes local corruption, but your test already proves otherwise. So it's suggested, and this is exactly what I sent them, that I understand your suggestion, but I'd like to clarify something important before deleting my saved data, which I'm not going to do. The issue only occurs on my main PSN account and only when accessing community creations. The game works perfectly on the same console with a different account, which strongly suggests this is not a local save corruption issue. If the save data were corrupted, I would expect crashes in other modes as well, but everything else works fine. Because of this, it seems more likely that the issue is tied to my 2K account data or community creations profile on your servers. Before I risk losing over 80 hours of progress, could you please escalate this ticket for a server-side review, check for corrupted data tied to my 2K account, perform a reset of my community creations profile data if possible, which is what I already asked them to do first time. I'd really appreciate exploring these options first. Now, the good news is I hadn't hit send on the email I originally wrote back to them. I got that separately because that will end up going if they don't respond to this. It was nowhere near as kind, and basically let them know about, we're definitely going to pursue this higher up. Reality check. Deleting your save might fix it, but based on symptoms, it's basically a last resort. So I says, after exploring all the above, the issue still persists. I have saved data backed up to the cloud. If I delete the local and restart it from scratch and then it crashes again, what will that confirm? It says if you delete the local save and start fresh, here's what each outcome means. Scenario A, a fresh save works and there's no crash. This would confirm that your local save data was corrupted. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. Scenario B, a fresh save and it still crashes. Ding, 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 ding. This would confirm it is not your save file, it is not your console, and it is not the installation. It is your 2K account data or something tied to your PSN profile on their servers. They own nothing. They take responsibility for nothing. After running this and telling chat it still crashes, well, where'd it go? At that point, you'll have hard proof, not just suspicion. So that's what we're at now. We have the hard proof. And I said, well, I followed the recommendations, deleted my local save, and started a completely new save. The issue still occurs. At this point, I'm requesting escalation to investigate and reset any corrupted data files, but I don't anticipate them doing that because that would actually show that they give a fuck about a customer, which we know they don't. Chat says, one important warning, if you test this, do not overwrite your cloud save, obviously. Make sure auto upload is temporarily turned off. So you want to, obviously, if anyone's having the same problem, that's the purpose of this video. Well, that's half the purpose of the video. I also wanted to see about saving the data to a thumb drive, just in case. Didn't realize this. With PS5 games, or you cannot do that. That went away with PS4. You can save it locally. You can save it on the cloud. That's it. So it's real important that you turn that auto sync off. We go into how to save things as best you can. Let's see. So the bottom line is that the USB won't work for the PS5 saves. Cloud backup is your safest method, and just make sure auto sync is turned off. So when I turn around and mention that, yeah, everything's still crashing, what this definitively proves is since you deleted your local save, started completely fresh, and it still crashes only on your main account. This confirms your save file is not the problem, your console is not the problem, the game install is not the problem, which we already knew. What is the problem? Now you've isolated it down to your 2K account, server-side community creations data. There's really nothing else left in the chain. Different accounts work, same console, fresh save fails. That equals account level corruption or bug on their servers. What this means about their advice. The support agent's suggestions to delete your save didn't fix it, was based on wrong assumption. Surprise. You now have proof, not just theory. And I followed up with, I followed your instructions, deleted my local save data, then created a completely new save file. The issue still persists. The game crashes when accessing community creations on my main account. This confirms that the problem is not related to local save data corruption. Additionally, the game works correctly on the same console using a different account, which further isolates the issue to my account specifically. At this point, all local troubleshooting has been exhausted, and the issue appears to be tied to my 2K account or server-side community creations data. Please escalate this case and perform a server-side review or reset of my account's community creations data as the issue persists even in a clean environment. That's what I just sent them. If they push back, now you have a very strong position. You can confidently say fresh save didn't fix it. Other account works. Issues isolated to account level data. That basically textbook server-side corruption. The good news in all this, your 80-hour save file is still safe. You didn't lose anything for nothing, and you now have hard diagnostic proof. That's where we're at right now. Now, what does that mean for the channel? Well, nothing good, I can tell you that. Because I went onto my other account and downloaded a whole bunch of content. There's some really good stuff out there. A lot of the usual suspects and then some new people because I'm getting into the AAA thing, and I found some really cool AAA things. So there's some new content creators that I've gotten a chance to see their work and download it. Problem is, nothing's unlocked on that account. I would have to do the grind all over again with the patch because they patched that shit right away, right? They ain't going to waste no time on that. No. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. It's simply not going to happen because then I'm looking at the scenario. And not only that, but then I lose what I've created. I love the Taz that I made. Okay, I'm really happy with the Rhino that I made. The only thing that I made that I wouldn't mind losing is this Sting. It didn't, to me, I mean, but I'm stuck with it if I stick with my account because I'll never be able to get on community creations. And that officially means this is the last time I'm ever buying anything with 2K written on it. I can't tell you, other than WWE, there's nothing I would. I'd never spend a nickel on 2K basketball. I've got a couple of them in the collection only because they were free game of the months. But I'd never give them a nickel for anything like that. I don't think they do NFL anymore, and I know they don't do hockey anymore, so there's really nothing else they could possibly have. They might have soccer, which I don't give a shit about. So, yeah, they're not going to see another nickel out of me after this, 100%. Because at this point, I would have to presume that whatever this glitch is in their server with my account is going to persist into the next title, and I won't be able to get it to work there either. Although I suppose I could theoretically get the game, but only then run it off the alternate account. But why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? Jamon Scott is in the house. J-Rox is here. If I saved anyone $150, that makes me happy. If I cost 2K money, that makes me ecstatic. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. J-Rox, well, now you know, buddy. Was everything working after we talked? Yeah, no, it's 2K. Come on, you know better. You know better. Yes, ChatGPT, buddy. That's That's scarily becoming a friend of mine. Man, I'm telling you, this we're all in trouble. Sarah Connor wasn't lying. Or maybe Reese was the one we should be saying wasn't lying. Well, they both weren't lying. What the hell? Corey Andrews in the house. 2K screws the pooch every single chance it gets. The dog walks through the living room. They screw it. The dog lays under the table. They get down and screw it. Dog's taking his shit. They don't mind. They just move the tail to the side, and they screw it. That is all 2K is good for. Literally, that is the only service they provide is fucking dogs. That's it. They are garbage. They are less than garbage. And that friggin' developer, Brian, what the fuck his name is, boy, I would do anything to see him in person right now. I don't even care about the incarceration that would follow. I don't care. I just want to pummel him. Help get it out of my system a little bit. So, with the fact that I cannot download anything on the main account and that the other account doesn't have anything unlocked, I don't know how that looks moving forward. And by the way, I spent a little time yesterday, or technically early this morning when all this was going down. So it was around 11 o'clock at night that I reset the PlayStation, which was about a 45-minute endeavor. Nerve-wracking, too. And then it was literally like the day I bought it. Get it up and going. Download the game. Crashes. Well, now I'm pissed because I got all these games I got to reload for no good reason. Just to say I did it. And that's what happened. Then I said, well, let me go into the other account. And since I've never, unlocked anything over there, let me see. My thought process was with the slider settings for the easy challenge on Eric Bischoff that everyone was doing. My opinion was that it'll go pretty quick and you can probably bang out 4 or 5 per minute. And you'll be getting more RXP that way. Instead of the 120 or the 130 they're offering, you'll be getting about 150. Which is a small increase, but it's an increase. Well, no, you can't. It's not physically possible because even if you're in the performance center where there's no entrances, from the time you get into a match, let's say you do tap them right out, boom, that match is done. Let's say you do that within 7 seconds. Best case scenario, if everything goes perfectly, 7 seconds. Now there's reset time. It wants to show you a replay. You hit the button and skip the replay, but that takes a second. Then you got to go to the rematch button. Hit the rematch button. Now there's the load-in screen where the two guys are in the corner kind of shuffling around, all that. That's 5, 6, 7 seconds gone. You're losing 12 seconds in between fights minimum if everything goes perfect, but you're really looking at about 20 seconds between matches. And there's nothing you can do about it. So now you are better off doing the 1-minute match. But when we were able to get 3 in a minute, it still took almost 4 hours. So now we're looking at what? 15 hours probably before it's all said and done. Allowing for the little, once in a while where the match. That's not fun. And then there's another season pass comes out. What am I going to do? Unlock that twice too? And even if I do that on the alternate account so that I would have full access to everything, 2 things. Number one, there's no guarantee that the same problem doesn't occur on that save file at some point in time, number one. Number 2, I still lose the stuff that I've created here. I have no way to upload it. So I don't know. And then I have still the option right now. I can't wait too much longer to pull the trigger of getting my money back. Sony has said you can have your money back. But I can't wait like a month and then do it. I am hard pressed right now because, again, and I've said this, there's a lot about this game that I like. Obviously, this is a real hard breaking point for me to not have access to community creations. Then I tell myself, well, and this is not the right logic to be using, though. This is why I get mad at myself. The logic that I use is that I was going to be focusing on this ECW thing anyway, which I've already got 90% of everything I need. And, I made Rhino and I made Taz, and I don't even know if there's anyone else I was planning on making, to be honest with you. Sabu, I guess I need a Sabu. So maybe one more. And I can make a Sabu easy enough. But I don't know. I just feel like now I got to switch accounts and I got to go back over there. And I would definitely have to unlock the stuff all over again in the other account if I wanted to do that. Which I don't see me really wanting to go through that experience a second time, only knowing that there's another pass coming out. So I say all that to say that there is a very strong possibility that there will be no 2K26 on this channel. I think right now it's an emotional time, so I'm stepping back for another day. But I am heavily leaning towards saying, you know what, give me the 150 back. You can have your license, and I'm done. And I can tell you, at that point, never again with 2K. It just won't happen. This experience, enough is enough. They are horrible individuals. I won't call them people because they're not people. They are scum. They are absolute scum. To me, they are no different than the Taliban. They are just scum. And that piece of shit, Brian, whatever the fuck, Monique, whatever his name is, man, oh man, dude, don't ever come up to me and introduce yourself. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you, because you would be the receiver of all of it. Jamon, that's the thing. People are being honest. I've got a list of links to big YouTubers. Not one of them is saying good things about the overall experience. They will say, like I have, the gameplay is cool. It's fine. I just watched James Romero with the Stevie Richards show. And James played the game for the first time, and Stevie's going to be doing it probably today, I guess, and they're going to do a review. Now, with them, they're not hardcore gamers, and he hasn't played a wrestling game in years because he felt like they weren't doing good jobs on wrestling games. No shit. And he only got the base game, and he was just, it's rubbish. So you're getting the people who you're trying to get back into the fold telling you it's crap. You've got the people who've been your bread and butter telling you it's crap. And again, not the game. It's everything else. It's 2K is crap. The gameplay is fine. And I was giving 2K a bit of a pass, blaming it on TKO, and I still blame it on TKO. At the end of the day, that company, that is the greediest bunch of motherfuckers. Those people, there is a special place in hell that they will burn, and I believe that. I'm not saying don't turn a profit, but you are bleeding people dry and delivering nothing. Whether it's a video game or whether it's live attendance in Vegas, you're delivering nothing. And then you want to know why we can't sell our tickets. Because your product absolutely sucks. Don't blame the messenger. Well, I appreciate you watching this one, buddy. If you're only going to watch one, this is the one. Because I watch all the other ones, and I'll bring you the news. Even, dadgummit, I'm forgetting his name now, one of the big YouTube dudes. And he went out to the little test session they did back in Connecticut. So you know that these are the guys, the ones that you're flying out there, you're counting on them to say nice things because, of course, they want to come back next year. I've gone to every one of their channels. They try to soft pedal it as best they can, but they're all saying the same thing. It ain't good. And they're offering alternatives like, you know what, if you're going to do this with the DLC, put it in tier 1. Put it in tier 1 or tier 2, and nobody would have a problem with it. I'll agree with that. I shouldn't still have to grind anything to get what I paid for, but yeah, you know what? I can live with tier 1 or 2. It wouldn't be a complete disaster, and maybe that's what they're going to do in the next one. I'm not holding my breath. The other thing I've heard, but not directly from the horse's mouth, and this is another thing that is, this is why I'm hesitating right now, not just to say, give me my money back and I'm done. What I've heard is that there are expectations that moving forward, the season passes aren't going to be 40 tiers. They're going to be 10. That's not official, but it's a big difference. And that changes my mind. If I knew that to be true, I might go onto my other account and start grinding. Just spend the fucking day and say, this is what it is, and never do it again. Never buy another game with their name on it. Yeah. There's 2 things in this life you lose one time: virginity and trust. That's it. You never get either one of those 2 things back. I tell people all the time, if your wife is caught screwing around on you and you decide, well, we got 15 years in this, we're going to work it out, I'm going to forgive her, we're going to move on, that thing is done and it's not happening no more, whatever, you can say what you want. Do you ever trust her again? You don't. You don't. The minute she's an hour late coming home from work, the first place your head goes. It's the same thing. We will never trust you again, 2K. Never. You've lost that. You have gone Bud Light. You have killed your base. You have turned us against you. You are now the poison. The only reason you have a heartbeat right now is there is no competition in the market. 0. That's the only reason you exist in this market. Enjoy it while it lasts, because all good things come to an end. The Russians have a proverb: no tree ever touches the sky. And you fuckers are going to come crumbling down, and I will not piss on the fire. I'll bring some marshmallows. Sean's in the house. Honestly, Sean, I don't know right now. I don't know. Probably not. Today's what day? Thursday? Yeah, it's a 50-50. Best I can tell you. The only reason I got Saturdays up there is because we're going into the whole WrestleMania thing, and then I'm gonna have to. Once I get past this month, I reset and decide what I'm doing. So I don't have an answer for you on that. But obviously, if I do it, it's going to be pre-recorded, so you'll have at least 24 hours notice. Right now, it's like I just can't get in the mood to do anything with 2K anything. It just, I look at this logo. It's right now. It's up on my screen here, and yeah, it just, it's driving me crazy. Oh, I forgot I got to add that back too. That was another thing I was going through yesterday. So all of a sudden, hold on, let me video capture device. Thank you. That's what I'm looking for. Bam. And that should be all the way down the bottom. Perfect. Yeah, so I do the hard reset, and then we come back. And I noticed this in the past, and it didn't click with me at the time. When I was trying to rebuild the database in the PlayStation, it wasn't showing up on my TV. Like the prompts, 1 through 7 or 8, whatever it is. I couldn't see them, and I'm like, well, what the hell's going on with that? So I unplugged from the Elgato capture card and plugged it directly into my monitor, and there everything was. And I'm like, why is it suddenly not going through the Elgato? But I was able to do everything off of my computer screen, did the reset. Computer, or the PlayStation comes back up. It's wiped clean. Plug it back into the Elgato. I got no picture. And I am losing my shit at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm fucking over it at this point in time. And again, 150 times I'll do this, and I will always forget to turn that off after it's gone through. Because I'm like, I just bought this capture card. There's no way it's dead. There's no way. And I'm troubleshooting this now. On top of the 2K bullshit not working. So I take my PS2 and hook it into the Elgato. And lo and behold, that works perfectly fine. So now all of a sudden, my PlayStation 5 is not talking to Elgato. Why? I only unplugged it. That's all I did. And I plugged it right back in. And then I forgot about one little thing. And I was actually happy that at 1 in the morning I had enough brain left to remember this. You have the HDCP protection on there that you have to turn off, which I had already turned it off, but now it's a brand new machine. You got to do it again. And then everything was working fine after that. But man, when you keep on taking these hits one after another, you get to that point where it's like, yeah, I don't know, man, I really want to hit a motherfucker. So, yeah, Sean, like I said, after March 31st, I'm not promising anything at all. I may just need to take a break from all of it. It's been exhausting. It has been truly exhausting dealing with all of this bullshit. If there was another company out there making a game, I would just completely switch over to that. But there isn't. And there's not enough viewership in the old games. It's fun to do it once in a while. But right now, you know, the people that are doing the viewing and stuff like that, they want the most up-to-date content that there is. And that's unfortunately what I'm giving you. It just sucks. The up-to-date content is absolute garbage. What we can do, though, hold that thought a moment. Let me close that out. I'm going to switch to my alternate account. So here's the other account that I hadn't used in over 15 years at least. So again, nothing's unlocked in here hardly other than that first tier that they kind of gave you. But I don't have any of the Hogans unlocked. I don't have Bret Hart unlocked. I'm shit. None of it's unlocked. None of the AAA stuff other than the, I think you get Vikingo, I think, is part. But at least here, we can go into community creations. This is as far as I normally get. The minute I hit this button, dead. As soon as that, if I'm lucky, I'll see that much, and it goes immediately away. So when I did this last night, shit, and I got the music on too. God dang it. Hold that thought a minute. I got to turn this off. I'll get struck down like lightning. But just being able to see all of these guys and the work that's being done. Of course, Honcho's Legends is, man, I tell you what, he's banging them out. He's got a lot happening, man. Like the Big Show. I made a Big Show, or the Giant, however you want to look at him. And I like mine. You know, not to knock this one, but mine's a lot better than this. I mean, a lot better. And I haven't seen a Taz here yet that looks as good as mine either. I put all that time into making them. I don't want to just get rid of it and not even have a footprint that I made them. If I could at least upload them. If I could upload the stuff that I created, I would probably just switch over to this account. But that's not an option. I have no way right now. Sabu, who did this one? Yeah, this is a guy I didn't ever hear of before, but he's got some good stuff up here. N to another. N to another. Trying to figure out if that's supposed to be like another. Yeah, another, but with a 2 in there. I'm sure there's a meaning behind it. But yeah, this is good looking work. Should have gave it up already. Surprised I didn't download it. And this just frustrates me more because this is what I should be able to do. 200 slots. And if I keep my main account, I throw all that away? Let me go to... Did I save him? I didn't? Shame on me. All right, now he's one of my favorites as well. Let's go see what else he's done, though. I'm surprised I didn't grab that already. Ooh, we got a Shane Douglas. There, that's a Rhino I saw. And again, I like his costume, but my Rhino's better. It just is. The Raven I've also seen. I've seen a lot of his work online on YouTube channels. And Jericho doesn't look bad. All right, let's get some close-ups here. If that's the same Shane Douglas, and I'm sure it is, yeah, that looks good also. Shane's one of my top 5. You know, I got Tito Santana, Barry Windham, and Shane's in that top 5. Of course, you're going to have Hogan and Flair in there. The thumbnail looks a little bit better than the in-game character does. But that face just ain't right. And mine without a face scan looks really good. And that's why I try not to use face scans. I did it with Taz yesterday only because it enhanced it. And if you were on the stream, it was amazing because I didn't have to make any adjustments. Like everything I had done on my Taz face fit perfectly with the face scan. So it just made it that much better. Chris Candido, I've seen it. And I guess I could always go in and tweak it a bit if I needed to. I'm not a fan of the hair. But I'm not sure if there's many better options out there. But so far as the rest, and I think the face didn't look bad either. Well, we can always get a closer look after. And having that freedom of 200 slots and say, just I'll take this, I'll take that. I can even take alternate versions of wrestlers now where like I can get a one-man gang separate from Akeem instead of having them share one save file. Kevin, what a great analogy and comparison. Holy cow. 2K reminds me of Sirius XM. It's good for a few weeks and already bored looking for stations to listen to. First off, Sirius, what was the other one? There were 2 originally. It was Sirius, which was Howard Stern, and I forget, was it XM? No. And then they ended up merging. Anyway, but I remember when Sirius first came out. And I was a big Howard Stern fan back in the day because he used to speak for the people. He's changed. They got a hold of him. The people with the money got a hold of him quick. If anyone went to Epstein's Island, I got to believe it was Howard Stern. Freak that he is. But that all said, I don't know. Looks like it could be all right. I'll have to get a closer look. I joined Sirius when it came out just so I could keep listening to Howard. Plus, the idea of listening to him without the FCC over his shoulder was intriguing, to say the least. I'm pretty sure this was pretty solid, too, from the video I saw. But to your point, it got tiresome after a while. Number one, I was growing up, and number two, he wasn't. It's like they got into a point where I stopped listening, where they would put women on this machine called the Sabian or something like that, which imagine, if you will, a horse saddle. It's not exactly a horse saddle, but it's similar, and it's a machine that's maybe a couple feet off the ground, if that. And the girl would straddle this machine, and it was developed to make her happy. And it had little attachments and things like that, and you could control the level of everything it did, from gyrations to vibrations to whatever in between. And he'd have these girls getting off on air. And back then, when he was doing Sirius, he also had the TV show going simultaneously. So, whatever you heard today on the radio, by Friday, it'll be up on video. And I just got to this point where it's like, dude, you're older than me. And at this time, I'm in my late 30s, early 40s. And he's like, late 50s. And I'm like, you got 2 daughters that are getting ready to graduate high school, and you're doing this? So I just kind of stopped listening to him at that point in time. I do have a Jericho already, but I'll take, again, with 200 slots, the one I have is for WCW, but maybe I get one now for ECW as well. No, Miracle, not great. You'll want to go back to the beginning of this one. This is my backup account. Nothing is unlocked. All that work I did to unlock everything, not on this account. So I'm just doing this to show that it's not my console. It is not the game download. It is the saved data on their end, which I've now proven. But they just want to keep turning a blind eye saying, oh, there's nothing we can do. Well, what I can do is get my money back, and that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. So what we're doing here today is just maybe saying goodbye to the game. That's the way I look at this. But let me go ahead and pull up everyone who I've favorited thus far. Creator. Favorites. And search. All things considered, search speed, not too bad. My boy Dre has been busy also. He did the Danhausen here. I didn't download it only because I know he's coming out in the game, and I don't know. I'm just funny that way. Especially with his character being so weird that there's nothing in the game currently that's going to be accurate. I mean, he'll look accurate. I'm sure he set the movesets where they need to be. I don't even know Dan's movesets. But the whole curse thing, there's no motion for the curse. You know that when the game comes out, or when he comes out in the game, it's going to be a payback feature. Probably exclusive to him. That he can come ringside and curse you and you're going to lose the match. So because those things can't be in here, the Redeemer, cattle mutilation, yeah, he's always been a Punk fan, so that makes sense. Oh, wait a minute. No, that was Daniel Bryan. Well, he likes him too. GTS, there you go to sleep. So there's the Punk and Daniel Bryan crossovers. Signature, super kick, octopus stretch, middle rope hurricane runner. Yeah. Anyone that doesn't know, he messed up his leg really bad in AEW, or no, going into AEW. In the Indies, he broke it. He really broke it good. And the story is that they signed him in a wheelchair. And my callback on that is what happened when the Orlando Magic signed Grant Hill, coming off of ankle surgery. And Grant Hill hardly ever played for the Magic. And when he did, it wasn't Grant Hill. All right, let's see what other content Dre's put up here, because, like I said, he's been busy. Look at this. Royce Keys, again, he's going to be in the game. Penta already is in the game. It's an alt attire, but, yeah, if I've already got somebody, I'm good. Rodman I took. I thought I took this Jericho. Is it not his? Maybe it was somebody else's. Some of these I have not yet seen, so let's go through these. Thunder Rosa, used to be a fan, not so much anymore. Rey Mysterio. We got Booker T from Harlem Heat. Britt Baker. God, this girl's getting screwed over so bad. I was hoping he would have done the Britsburg jacket. That's my favorite of her attires. He always does solid work. It's all right, Miracle. But yeah, you're right. Too good to be true. If you guys remember, I think it was 3 years ago that Dre put out a Sting, and he ended up being the most downloaded creation for the whole year. And he was like that. I had interviewed him about that, and he's like, Sting? Really? But yeah, you never know. So I know I already have one, but I'm going to take this one as well because then I can do a comparison, which I always like to do those in the past. See which one brought it the most. Athena, haven't seen her in a minute. Mercedes, blah. Hoovy dude. Let me get a look at this. Man, I swear to God, I thought I downloaded this one. If I didn't download this one, maybe I just looked at it and didn't do it. Because that has the whole Monday Night Jericho thing on it, which is what I remembered getting. Marcus the King, it's not. Like I said, you go back. I wonder, hold on a minute. Let me see something here. No, never mind. Go back to the beginning of the video. This is my second account that I hardly ever use. It'll work on that account. It won't work on my main account. But my main account is where I've got everything unlocked. So I got to decide if I want my money back, because Sony's offering me my money back. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out in the next 24 to 30 hours or so. I'm just stepping back momentarily to think things through. That's a common mistake people make. They don't do that. All right, let's go back to the list of all the community creations from the people I follow, which should be this one now, right? Nope. Let's go back. Search. Yeah, it's just him. And go to favorites. There we go. So anyway, we got the LOD. Again, most of these, you guys are going to know it's Honcho. I was impressed with this. I had done my own Bravo and Rayo, and I wasn't thrilled with either one of them, really. But I kept on figuring they're going to come out with them the same way they kind of added Americano last minute last year. So I didn't worry about it too much, but these are both good. We can go look at them in a minute. People were losing their mind. There's no Jake Roberts in the game. What are you worrying about? You know these guys are going to make one that's going to look better than what's in the game half the time. So, yeah, Jake Roberts is there. Royce Keys, man, I just can't get over that name. Oof, that's not good. Dr. Wagner, we'll take a look at him. I already did. Really good work. Solid. So this guy is Lucha Cause, and he's one of my new favorites. I never cared for the red and black thing. That just didn't go for me at all. And I also wanted to see what Honcho did with King Kong Bundy now that we have the ability to adjust the body so many different ways. Oh, this is a one I took of Jericho. WCW Era Z. So we can do a comparison of Jericho's. And I'll let you guys decide which one stays and goes. Take the money back. I know it's easier said than done. Dude, how true is it? How freaking true is it? If you buy anything else, if you bought a TV for $150 and it took a shit on you, and you go back to the store and then say, I'm sorry, I'll give you your money back. You're taking the money and you're gone. You don't even hesitate. But here I am with this thing, and I am just tearing it up in my head back and forth. It is a good game. It's a fucked up company. But again, my channel is kind of based on this content. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things that are, and there's stuff I can do in this game that I can't do in the other one. Number one, you can do the bloodline matches properly, where you get to select who's going to run in. Duh, should have done that the first time around. You can have promos with championship belts involved in them, which I've been saying for years, and they finally did that. That's a big one for me, to have a promo that's going to disappear now with belts involved. That, I had sent something to Jay yesterday. Let me refresh my own memory here. And I posted it on Twitter, by the way, is what it is. So that means I got to go to my Twitter. And if I can remember who the heck it is.
Tonight, the most toxic.
Element Games. And I'm sure most of you guys have heard of Element Games before. They're making videos, or he's mad, I don't know how many people it is, but they're putting together videos that this was my goal from day one. These are the videos that I wanted to be able to make. I guarantee you he's playing on a PC because he's able to make things happen that there's just no options there for me. And I'm not even sure if it's 2K25 that he's playing or 26, to be 100% honest. But he's managed to get access to, or maybe he has software that creates, I don't know. But he can have some really good cutscenes, like we used to have back in the good old days. And he's got a pretty good voice emulator. You can definitely tell who the people are, but it's all AI. It's not him doing it, like I do all my own voices pretty much. The only downside to his, and I left him some remarks. I told him as I thought it was amazing work. I said the only reason I wouldn't say 10 out of 10 is because when he's writing out the promos, there's no like breathing. It's just like bang, 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 bang. And there's supposed to be those moments where you pause and reflect and let the audience, interject or whatever. And it's all just and the fact that it's AI, it lacks emotion. And that'll get better over time as well. But all things considered, his story mode, basically the one I'm watching, and it's the one I posted on X. So far it's up to part 3. And I binged the whole thing last night. Loved it. But the storyline goes back to when the idea is that they did not. How did it work? They buy WCW, but Vince ends up having to get his shares from Stephanie, and he's got something he's holding over her to get the shares back from Stephanie so that he owns WCW entirely. And she's like, oh, unfortunately, I already sold it to your new partner, the man who's half owner. And then Hollywood Hogan comes out. And we've probably seen NWO done to death. This is good shit. When I first started doing this on this channel many years ago, 22 of them, my thing was, it was something was going to be a one-off. I was never going to do more of it, but people liked it, and I said, okay, I'll do more of it. And then after about a year or two, I'm like, well, I'm not going to keep doing this much longer. I said, but my goal was to find some other creator that I could just watch. And the reason I ever did it is I didn't like the product that we have to watch on TV. That was back then. Now, obviously, there have been some peaks and valleys, but for the most part, I just didn't like what we had back then. And that's what made me do the channel to begin with. It could be better. If you all would cooperate with one another, you could do an invasion angle, and that would be huge, and blah, blah, blah. So I made it happen. Well, this guy basically was the guy I was looking for 20 years ago. And I probably would have stepped out of it at that point because I would have had someone I want to watch. This is wrestling I don't mind watching. Even though it's a video game and whatever, the storytelling is good. Now he's got this, the voiceover stuff anyway. So you can jump on, like I said, Twitter. It's right there on my feed. And that's part 1. It's a playlist. So it should go right to play 2 and 3. Really good. And he's got a bunch of other stuff too. But Can't say enough about it. Really, really good. Top tier. And if you've never seen it, Element Games, check them out. It's all one word, by the way, in YouTube. I know the gameplay is actually solid. Okay, keep it. I'm no help. Somebody made a fantastic Muda in 25. He was already in the game, though. What can you do with that? Or they make the older version of him. Yeah, Marcus, you're right. It's a great game to play, and everything else sucks. And that's where I'm at. I'm literally weighing the two things, saying, which direction in life we come to a fork in the road sometimes, Element Games, there is how it's spelled out. And then if you just put that in the search bar, I am sure you will find their channel. Highly recommend it. Make sure you tell them that Vince from The Nation sent you. All right, let's get back to what we were doing. Jasper Troy, I grant you, I don't watch a lot of NXT anymore, but I haven't seen anything involving him, not like a clip on X or anything. Is he hurt? Anyone know because I like Jasper. I was a big LFG fan, and I thought he was one of the real deals, man. This is the guy that's going to do something. And I do feel like they probably pushed him a little too soon also. Here's another giant. And it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. This is from the WCW eras. Oh, now I get it with the Z. Eras. Gotcha. A little slow on the uptake. It's not bad. But I promise you, if I put mine up there side by side with it, mine's better. And I don't say that a lot, but I'll say it in this case. This isn't bad, though. It's pretty good. I like mine better. I'll go that route. PCWZ, welcome aboard. Yeah, it's a great channel. Again, I can't wait for part 4, man. I don't know how often he kicks stuff out. And he obviously has guys working with him because the scenes are manipulated, with the wrestlers having to do certain things and be in certain places to make it happen. So you know that there's actors involved in the process. This is a second Ric Flair. Is this also Honcho? Nope. Errors once again. Honcho definitely has the win on that one. I'm not even going to. Yeah, Marcus is on that channel too. So, yeah, some of you are already aware, which is great. If there's anyone that's not aware, you are now. Just make sure you tell them where you found out from. La Hydra, and there's another one. I can't remember the name, and I'm too lazy to look it up right now. Hugh Morris, Bill DeMott. Who's this one? Wizard of They. I used him in the past games. That's the other thing, too. I don't know how many of my creators that are on the credit scrolls that I've been doing for the past year now. I don't know how many of them are PS5 or Xbox users, because if they're not, then I won't have them anymore. Already got all these. El Grande Americano, I'm good. Pagano, the only reason I didn't get him is because he's going to be in the game. Who's this one? Dirty Cause. Again, this is another new one. Let's go ahead and grab it, and then we can take a look at it. I'm half thinking about doing what Blaze did and just seeing if somebody wants to get on this account and just grind that shit out. I don't have it in me. I did it already. I don't want to did it again. And then the other thing is, How would I upload, like if I need my own logos in this one, I guess I'd have to go in through this account name. I'm just thinking out loud right now. We'll take Jushin, why not? I've passed him by too many times. Oh, that does look good. That looks solid. All these years later, and they still haven't done an Ultimo Dragon costume. Why do you think that would be? He was a hugely popular, and people still make him, but Dragon wrestled with the shoulder pads on. Not the full dress regale like you see here. But then when that came off, there was just regular shoulder pads on. Kind of like what a lot of the luchadors are doing now, like Mini Vikingo. But they don't have that in the game. So most of the time when these guys are making Ultimo Dragon, they're painting it on the skin. And it's like, no, man, I can't. That just, I get that's your only option, but it looks like shit. And I just can't do that. Vincent. Pimpinella. I'm actually getting into this character. At first, I couldn't stand this character. But it's growing on me. And I keep on saying she, and it's like not a she. That last episode or 2 episodes ago where Chad Gable beat the ever-living shit out of him in the back locker room. He's like, oh, he hurt me. He hurt me. I'm like, damn. One man gang. I know I looked at it. I upvoted it. We'll take it. We'll take it away. Oh, so he is still on the program. Again, like that clip somehow never got to my timeline in any way. And the only thing I ever go to WWE on YouTube for is the recap of Raw and SmackDown. For some reason, I don't do it for NXT, and I don't know why. It's only 10 minutes. Maybe I should start doing that. Commander, I feel like I should know who that is, but I don't. Mortis, I mean, it looks awesome. And here's the other thing, too. We'll get to it eventually here. Somebody made a really good Black Turismo, and I'm a big Turismo fan. But I haven't unlocked one thing that is needed to get that. I have it on my main account, but I haven't unlocked it on this one. So, yeah. I'll tell you what. In the chat, or if you're watching on demand, in the comments down below, if you would be willing to spend some time grinding on this account to help me unlock shit, let me know. Obviously, you have to have a PlayStation 5. It's the only way it'll work, but we could do a share play session that way. I love my boy Blaze, but there's no way. I wish I trusted human beings the way he does, but I'm not giving up my account information so they can actually import it to theirs. And no, not going to do that. But I can do a share play if somebody's down for that and you got the time and you want to help out, let me know. And maybe that'd be the way to get it done. Maybe if we have 2 or 3, as he likes to refer to them, sweatshop workers working together around the clock, we can knock this bitch out. I don't know. That might be the only way I can make this palatable. And then from there on, you see, I still end up losing the stuff that I made on the other channel. Though. That's a part that I keep on getting pissed off about. See, now I can have an Akeem separate from One Man Gang. Is there any difference in the attire? Oh, a little bit on the color scheme, I guess, and the hairstyles. Okay. It's all in the details, man. It's all in the details. And you can see there on tier 2 how many points we got. 295, I think, is what I'm seeing up there. El Grande Americana, Chris Benoit. Yeah, we'll take Billy Kidman. I was always a fan. And that looks pretty solid. One of the best calls I ever had was I did a bit of Billy Kidman one year, and that would have been about 18-ish. And that was I forget how many downloads that got. It was over 25,000. I mean, when it came to Billy Kidman, it was the number one downloaded. But that was by far the most I ever had for anything I ever created. I already have a Benoit. Let me get a look at this one. I'm trying to remember which Benoit I got. Well, we'll do a face-off. Momentarily, folks, we are going to be doing some face-off action where we're going to have both of them come out, do their entrances, watch them do a little bit of wrestling in the ring, and then you guys are going to select which one stays and which one goes. I did that many years ago. Perry Saturn. Do I really want Perry Saturn? There's Roadblock down there. You guys that have been watching the channel will remember him, of course, from the IWC, I believe. The problem with having 200 is a lot of them will never get used. And I just feel that way about Perry Saturn. I mean, it looks good. I just don't, I'm not a big Perry Saturn fan. If anything, I would have wanted him as with the tag team with Cronus, and maybe I could have used him in the ECW thing. But that's all WCW there, and I'm not looking to invest any time in other people's work and having to reclothe them and things like that. But yeah, anyway, Roadblock did do a stint after the IWF, or yeah, it wasn't UWF. It would have been IWF. So to see somebody else making him is pretty cool. I thought I was the only one that would have even given him time of day. Well, Miracle, do you have a PlayStation 5 is the question, because essentially that's what you will be doing is playing the game for free. The only thing you have to do is have a PlayStation 5. Raven. I already got a Raven. Let me see this one, though. I do kind of like the hair. I don't remember what year you'd have to go back to. I feel like it's like 15, 16, somewhere in there, where at this stage, when you went into community creations, it was almost like it was a statuette. You know, you could zoom in on it, pull back on it, and it was a 3D sculpture, and you could spin it all the way around, and it was like you were looking at a statue, like a collectible figure or something. But you could see every detail of this thing before you downloaded it. Again, all the things you used to be able to do with the old games that you can't do with current gen only technology. I'm going to compare these two Ravens, and one of them's going to go. Big JH is here. How you feeling, buddy? Hopefully you got some good news already. Let's see, we only got 2 more pages left, so we're almost to that head-to-head meeting. Dave Taylor, no. Diamond Dallas Page, got him in the game. That's good enough for me. There's another Perry Saturn. Let's see if this one is... Nope, still not a John Cronus version of Perry Saturn. I'm looking for my eliminators. If they were that way, then I would. I do like the British Bulldog thing, because I know Dynamite's in there as well. And Honcho always does a good job on the Bulldogs. And as much as they were a favorite tag team of mine, I had them a couple years ago, and I did use them a little bit, but I don't know. Just not feeling the vibe. El Dandy. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's a UK thing, El Dandy. Pretty sure it was a UK wrestler. Nope, I take it back, Luchador. Name is familiar, but I don't recall him. PCWC. Again, this is kind of like if you watch these last 4 videos I've put out about this game, the gameplay itself I like. A lot of the universe I'm happy with, and that's the only thing that really matters to me is universe mode. This grinding thing is absolutely ludicrous. It's bullshit. It's horrible. It ruins the experience overall because now you're just frustrated, angry. That's not the way you're supposed to be with a game. The things you paid for, you have to unlock. And if you don't have time to unlock them, then you can pay for them again. No, that's criminal. I'm telling you that's criminal. But where I'm at personally is right now you see me in community creations, but only because I'm on my alternate account. On my main account where I spent all those hours unlocking the stuff I paid for, I can't get into community creations. It'll crash my game. So that means any extra characters I want, I got to make them all myself. And that's it. That's just the way it is right now. Because 2K doesn't want to acknowledge what I've now proven to them, which is the problem lies within their servers. Their server in 2K has my account attached to it. It's mandatory, which also should be criminal. If I buy the game, I shouldn't have to be on your server to play it. You should not have that control for this very reason. Arthur Morgan. Boy, oh boy. Dwayne Bruce. Reno. Hoovy again. I did take Nacho Libre. If I decide to do anything with this account, he going to get his ass kicked a bunch. Lash LaRue. Biscuit. Some of these, I don't even know if they're real or not. I don't recognize names. All right, our final page, and then we go head-to-head. Still waiting. All right, JH. We're still praying then. I don't have a need. There's 2 Roddy Pipers in the game, but I do like the attires that he did. They have a good look to them. You got the classic Rowdy Roddy there. Surprised he didn't put the little, assuming it's in the game, that little belt thing with the pouch that hangs down. And I always liked that Panther face T-shirt that he wore back in the day. And this is an actual CAW, too. It's not like he just put a new costume on the in-game. I don't think so, anyway. I think that's something he actually created himself. It's Honcho, of course it is. So it looks really good. But there's 2 in the game already, so I'm good. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, again, if you want to jump on and do a share play session, we'll work that out. What's your gamer tag? Put your gamer tag down there so I can add you. Some of these are repetitive. Baron Corbin. Robbie Rage. Man, some of these names I just don't have any recollection of them, if they're real things. Jimmy Yang. Leah Meow. I'll make you meow. As I recall, I did see this. I forget which channel was highlighting a lot of these. I didn't feel like the face really was there for me. Got the tattoos down. And I'm not a fan of that ring gear, but that's what he wears, so I still think he should have gone with a biker gimmick. But what do I know? Yeah, PC, I think we'll see. I've got a funny feeling they have caught so much shrapnel over this that the next time around, with the next season coming up, I have a funny feeling that we might see all the DLC, the Demolition, for example, in tiers 1 and 2. And it might only be because the argument was they put so much into season 1 that there's not a whole lot left, and you got 6 seasons. And some people aren't able to get season 6 because they didn't pre-order. So the argument's been that, or the not argument so much as the prediction has been, that they're going to have significantly less tiers moving forward. The reason I hesitate to believe that is because that would be significantly less money moving forward. Although, if you only had 10 tiers in the next season, that's $20. Do I want to give you another $20? No. But if I had no time to do the grinding, what is that there? If I had no time to do any of the grinding, it doesn't hurt like 80. I mean, 80's a no, a hard no. And I'm saying hard no to anything at this point, man. I'm not giving them another nickel for anything. Keeping an eye on my thing up there, the tier, to see, because it's supposed to be giving you a reward for anything you do in the game. Well, it didn't do anything for going on community creations. I can tell you that right now. Let's do this. Let's first take a look at them here, and then we'll look at them in ring. Or actually, you know what? Before that, wrong. Let me turn off all this music so I don't have to worry about getting smashed. Jukebox, there you are, bitch. Off, 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 off. And I was actually listening to all this playlist while I was monkeying around last night or early this morning. And yeah, not one song here. There's not one song here I would ever want to hear again. I thought most of them were actually trash, to be honest with you. But to each his own. All right, Superstar. Custom. No duplicates on the males, but we can take a look at them separately. So we got Akeem. And most of these Golden Age guys are all going to be Honcho. And again, he's known for doing really solid work. So I don't hesitate if he puts something up that I need. I just grab it. I do like the hair choice here. I wouldn't have picked it, but that's the right one to go with. The face scan is solid. Yeah, that looks really good. Really, really good. I mean, if he was in the game, he wouldn't look any better than that. Take a look at the big boss man. Who gonna be serving hard times? Mr. Trailer. Told the story before, but back in the day when he had jumped to WCW and they were doing their TV tapings over here at Disney, he ended up staying at the hotel I was running at that time, and my girlfriend worked the PM shift. And she knew a little bit about wrestling because she was dating me, and we'd actually gone a couple times and all that. She's like, "Oh, you know who checked in tonight?" I'm like, "Who?" "The big boss man." I'm like, "Shut up." She's like, "Yeah, he wanted me to go to the room with him." I'm like, "Oh, fuck off." Try picking up on my girl. Yeah, really good details, man, with all the extra patches that you don't normally see. Again, if the game put this out, I don't think you'd have those shoulder patches. You'd have the stripes. But I guarantee you, yeah, I mean, they're not going to have the Cobb County patch on there. And I feel like his original run actually had the Confederate flag somewhere on that seal, perhaps. But they get cranky about that on 2K. It's called history, bitches. Learn it. Blaze Radio is in the house. Blaze. Where do I start? This is my alternate account. You know how your guys recommended I do that? I did. And it works like a champ, but nothing's unlocked on it. And I ain't doing that all over again. And on my account, what we have now proven is that this is an issue with the 2K servers and my account, but it's on their end. I've done everything. I've deleted everything. I rebooted the entire PlayStation back to factory settings. It is 100% now in their system, and they're basically not looking to do anything about it. I don't know. Is there buffering going on? I'm not seeing any buffering. Tells me it's got an excellent signal, if I can say that. So, yeah, right now I'm going to come up in the next 24 hours or so with a solution of either I just take the refund that they've offered me over at Sony and say fuck 2K26 and fuck 2K forever. Or I can stick with my main account and not have any creations whatsoever other than the handful that I've made that I can't even upload. If I could upload them, I'd switch over to this account. Because then I could at least grab my stuff. But I can't. And I don't want to just not use it. It's a catch-22, man. Yeah, I mean, I have it now, yes, but I don't think I'm keeping it. I just put the call out here to say, listen, if somebody wants to jump on and do some share play and they want to, do some of the grinding, then maybe I can do it that way. But especially with the stupid patch, no, I'm not. I did it last night. I tried my theory. Remember I mentioned to you on the summit that I thought you could probably bang out 5 of them in a minute and you'd be getting more points that way. But unfortunately, it's not a possibility because, yeah, you can tap them out pretty quick. And obviously, you're going to skip the replay. Every time you got to hit the button to skip the replay, and then you got to hit the button for the rematch. But then they load them back in where they're standing in their corners. The match doesn't just start. And there's about a 6-second delay before the match begins. And then that's assuming your timing is perfect and you get them into the submission hold right away and put them back down and tap them out again. That 7-second delay makes it impossible to get more than 3. You might get lucky once and get 4 in a minute's time. But that's less than what you would get with one match just going over the minute mark. So they've successfully forced you to the 1-minute match. I just don't have that many minutes in me. And again, buddy, yeah, I tell myself that too, but I've got stuff that I've created already on my main account that I would then just never have access to. And I like that stuff a lot. And I spent time on that stuff. So I shouldn't have to make that choice. And for 2K to be giving me the answers they've been giving me up to this point, which is there's nothing on our end. No, there is something on your end. 110% there is. Because if there's not, what you're telling me is I can never buy another product from you because my account's corrupted. This will happen next year. I won't know because this experience has made it 100%. How can I buy this game again? I literally am throwing money away if I keep this game. I would say right now, 70-30 that I get the money back. I'm going to give it a night. I'm going to sleep on it, as they say. But I would say it's 70-30 that I just take the money back and say, fuck them. I hope they all die in a fiery plane crash and be done with them. And I know that's a horrible thing to say. I feel like it's justified at this point. They're horrible people. It's a disgusting company. TKO is an absolute pig. And it's sad because it wasn't perfect under Vince, but it was a family business. And it was treated as such. And he could have charged a lot more money for tickets. He wasn't stupid. He knows he could have got more money, and he did for WrestleMania charge a lot more money than normal. But not thousands of dollars. He understood his audience as families and that they can't afford that shit. TKO said, oh, these are missed opportunities here. Charge them until they bleed. It's a pretty good John Studd. It's a pretty good John Studd, I got to say. This is the second year in a row for this, and maybe my memory's slipping. I always thought he had the two tights, one that had red stars on both sides and one that had blue stars on both sides. But maybe my mistake is that once in a while I was just paying attention and saw blue and thought those were the blue trunks. And once in a while I saw the red and thought those were the red trunks. I'm willing to bet this is accurate. My memory's not, simply because Honcho does such a good job. But anyone else out there, I always thought it was the same color on both sides. And I have to be honest, man, it's taken me a little bit to get used to that, even with the one I have from last year in 25. Get a look at Billy Kidman over here. I mean, Blazer, I could tell you is I am not going to be doing the unlocking on my. I'm not saying I wouldn't do any of it, but I am not putting all those hours in now that they've taken away the cheat that made it tolerable, and that's the best word I've got for it. This is really good. This is exceptionally good. Really good face scan. Really good. By the way, I've been using ChatGPT to make some really good face scans. Just by getting any picture of whoever it is I'm looking for, putting it in there, giving them a base model of a default 2K face scan and telling them, hey, I need you to map this face just like this picture. And boom, knocked it out in no time. The big show I posted, that's exactly how I got it. And it looked really good. I was so impressed with it. And I did a Vince McMahon one yesterday, and it also came out really good. And in seconds, super fast. I remember how hard it used to be to find a good face scan. Not anymore. Same thing with the tattoos. I should send it pictures with the tattoos on Taz. As I just need the tattoos and removed them and put them all on one sheet so I could just copy them off as I needed them. Bravo Americano. This is what I want to get into and see what they did here with the mask, because I was having a lot of trouble doing anything. Yeah, they did an awesome job with the logos. Yeah, wow. Beats the shit out of what I had over there. Yeah, this looks really good. And that's the other thing, too. I look at something like this and I think, okay, that's a lot better than what I have on my other channel or my other account. It's the Taz and Rhino in particular, and now even the McMahon one. But the Taz and Rhino in particular are the two that if I could just get those ported over, I might do it. But to just give up on it and throw it away, I don't know. I don't know. I just got to take time and think about it. Dude, I have already played through My Rise 2 times. Once as a babyface, once as a heel, and I just started on the other one, the female, going babyface. I ain't going to do that again. It wasn't a pleasant experience the first time around for me. I find that tedious at best. But as I said, if people in the community want to contribute, I don't ask for money. I mean, that's another alternative, I suppose, but I don't like doing that. But if there's other people out that are on a PlayStation that want to do a share play, we'll work out a schedule, whatever time works for them. That's a pretty good face scan. This hairstyle, I'm not really thrilled with on that one. But he's got another one here. Yeah, this is a little bit more of what I like that better. But really good work. Yeah, but if any of them want to jump on, do a share play, put an hour in here and there or whatever, I'd be down with that. You know, they can do that while I'm over doing laundry or what have you. Which reminds me, I finally got around to doing some today. I just got to put it in the dryer next. Here's where we're going to get a couple. I've got a couple of Benoits that are going to go head to head here momentarily, and we're going to see which one we're keeping and which one we're going to say goodbye to. This was the one we just downloaded. Pretty solid on the face. Can't knock it. The tire is pretty solid there. Got everything you would expect to see. The build looks right. Then we have this one. I wonder if they're the same creator. I don't think so. Nose looks a little bit different to me. They both look good. I'd have a hard time right now just from this alone. It would come down to like a tires. Which one do I prefer? And might be this one on that. But we'll have them come out head to head here and Candido. I'm going to skip through some of this. We'll do the Jericho comparisons. Good attire. Yeah, that face ain't going to work. All those bright little blotchy things, wait till we put it in game. It is going to be horrible. So I can already tell you this one's going, but we'll give him the face off. We'll let him go head to head. See, that's why I don't like thumbnails like that with the renders, and I prefer these because this gives you a much more honest look at what you're getting. Now that said, I'm not feeling that face looks very good either. At all. They might both be gone. Those two both don't look very good to me. Oh, I got a third contender. Hold on a minute. It may not be over yet. We got a triple threat. Oh, and this is looking like a winner to me. See the difference there? Nice and even, no blotchiness, no bright spots. The bright spots are the killer. That's why I love using ChatGPT to make mine. I just make that into the commentary that there can be no bright spots, no glares from the lighting. I need a flat canvas, and it's perfect. And my guess is that's what these guys are now doing too. Apparently some of the call creators are really pissed at people doing that. It's like, why? So we can make our own? Yeah, that's going to be the winner. I don't even have to do the face-off, but we will just for fun. Let's see. Dave the Clown. How is Dave? Mercy. Dave's an interesting looking clown. Let's see. What did we do here? This looks really good, though. I gotta say. Let me. You piqued my curiosity on a couple of things here. Clothing head. Hold on a minute. What's going on with that? What is going on with that? Was that, maybe it was a store-bought product, and I don't have it, so therefore, but I should still be able to see it, I would think. Yeah, it makes me think this was in the store somewhere. Huh. Clothing. Upper body. Let's check upper body for fun. Yeah, that's there. Doesn't show the mask. That makes me believe that was a store-bought. We have a winner, he says. Yeah, with the Jerichos, I think we do have a winner. I think we do have a winner. Dave the Clown looks pretty badass, though. Malenko doesn't have any competition. He's staying. Look at Rodman. Wow, this is my first chance getting a look at him up close, but just that shot right there. Let's get a look at Rodzilla. Yeah, that's really good. That is really good. I had done a Rodman many years ago that came out pretty well, too, now that I'm thinking about it. That's going back a while. Sometimes I'll see creators making something and posting it up there, and I'm like, oh, I don't even care too much for this guy. It's like last year with Abdullah. I'm not an Abdullah fan at all. But, and I can't remember which creator it was that made that Abdullah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, damn, that is the best Abdullah I have ever seen in any game ever, even when the game had Abdullah in it. And just because it looked so damn good, I'm using it. And Abdullah got a lot of screen time for me. Again, Honcho, he does a lot of the same wrestlers year after year, but if he doesn't, who's going to? The only thing I ever have a problem with on his, and it's the same thing this year, yeah, Morocco was a furry dude, no lie about it. But I feel like it's a little excessive, so I'll tone that down a little bit. But that face, oh my God, is that accurate? The build is perfect. We got the bandage thigh thing going on again. This year, the right stick is weird. It doesn't, it keeps wanting to bend you instead of just like turning sideways. It tends to rotate top to bottom as well, I've noticed. So I'll end up getting rid of a lot of that hair. Not all of it necessarily, or I'll thin it down a bit so the opacity is a little bit more forgiving. Monstar sneaking in the back door. What's up, playa? Dave the Clown mask might have been face paint. Yeah, but there's no mask. Wouldn't there have to be clothing? Let's go back. How is that possible? Seventh grade, and you sat through Abdullah and Brody and didn't need therapy after that? Holy shit. That could legally be considered child abuse. I'd see a scary movie, you might have a problem going to sleep at night. I mean, that's a mask, dude, is it not? Or am I going crazy? There's some sort of a mask thing going on there, for sure. And if not, then I really want to know what he did. Could that be just... Wow, you might be onto something here. Hold on a minute. But then how is the mouth not opening? Well, because right now he's not in a position to, I guess. All right, I got an idea. Hold on. We're going to test this out right now. Yeah, I know. For the 15th time, I got to go through this bullshit. Oh, I think you got it. It is face paint. Damn, they made that look like a friggin' mask. Outstanding. You know, I actually like that. I'm going to keep it. All right, now let's go back and take a look at that shit. Wow. I mean, you fooled me into thinking that was an actual mask. Wow, I'm impressed. So we're going to appearance. Yep. Look at this. Look at this. Good call, man. I look at a lot of creators' work over the years, and this might be the most impressed I have ever been when it comes to something. I mean, you know, Penn and Teller have that show called Fool Me with magicians that have to come out and try and come up with an act that they don't know how they're doing it. They fucking fooled the shit out of me on this. I thought that was an actual mask. They got texture on there and everything. That's the thing that threw me, that forehead. Really? Yeah, it's got that texture going on and everything. Outstanding. Outstanding. Once again, hold on. Definitely worth two. Kudos. Now I got to go back next time and find out who the creator is, because that is just spectacular. So impressed with that. Yeah, but there is no Brave Fiend mask, dude. It's his face. He just morphed the shit out of the face and put that paint on it. There is no mask. That's how he was able to fool me. God, that is so friggin' clever. That's like next level. All right, I think we'll take a look at maybe one or two more, and then we're going to do our head-to-heads. Dr. Wagner. Solid wrestler, by the way. I'm enjoying his matches. Such a good job on this mask. They don't give you, and I was amazed. Okay, that part there I'm not so thrilled about, having the hair like that. And I don't know, can you do embossment on tattoos? I think you can. I'm going to go back and check on that, because if you can, that needs to be done. But that's like the only knock I'd have on it. And I get why he's doing it, because, you know, you can't get the hair to otherwise come out of there. I'm just surprised they don't have more masks. I thought this year we were going to see a lot of masks with AAA and everything. Maybe with the upcoming season patches or, well, passes, whatever you want to call them. Maybe with them we'll get some more of that. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Blaze, we all play it a little bit differently, and that's why somebody like you would catch that. And they completely took me. Man, I'm still impressed with friggin' Dave the Clown. All right, let's start getting some head-to-heads over here. And see who's going to stay and who's going to go. We'll say normal. We'll do the triple threat match, get it out of the way. Even though I feel like we've already exhausted this one, but let's go. Chris. Oh, we got Benoit's too, don't we? All right, well, we're going to do Jericho first. Now, if it were a real competition, whoever wins would stay and the other two would go. But I'm looking at making... Oh, gosh damn this. Gotta reset every fucking thing. Entrance is on. Dumbass. All right. So now we'll get our entrances in as well and see if they even put the effort in or if we get the generic.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 205 pounds, Chris Jerry Cruz.
The moment this match was announced, the WWE Universe has expected
Oh, I forgot
a
to turn
classic.
their asses
I
off
think it
too,
is
didn't I?
destined to deliver.
So this is Dre's Jericho. I wish everybody would do that and put the creator's name down in the social media so that we know exactly whose it is. And Dre always does top tier work.
A man who always considers himself main event material, an uncrowned champion. He wants to show exactly why here tonight.
That is our front runner and our most likely winner. But let's give it up for, okay, so already we got bass music. He's better off with no music. He's right doing it that way because then I can just import my own. I do like the entrance.
And his opponents, first from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing in at 228 pounds, Chris Jerry Cruz.
Let's start a poll.
Reaching a fever pitch upon
That's what she
the
said.
and we are just seconds away from a highly anticipated match.
So A would be Dre's that just came out a minute ago. B is this one we're looking at right here, who I do not know the creator's name.
For this guy, but he is more than ready for it.
I do like the entrance, though. I'll say that. To the point where I might even take this entrance and put it on Dre's Jericho. His was good, too. But I'm feeling that one better. Well, we got some pyro with this one, at least. Let's see. Let's see where this goes. Oh, this is that one that had the face. Let's wait and see how bad this thing looks on screen.
Weighing in at
Yeah.
225 pounds, Chris Jerry Cruz.
You are looking at some highly motivated competitors in this match, looking to steal the show and capture the attention.
Looks like Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. Wait till they get a load of me. All right, I've seen enough. Let's put him to the match. It's really a two-way race, and it's not even that. Survey says 100% for Y2J coming out of the camp of Dre.
That's why you need to keep your eye on both of your opponents at all times.
Even the skin tone, everything about his really looks a lot better. And we can't do wrap up unless we're in that. Why can't you do wrap up outside? Oh well, there's wrap up. That's something else I don't get. Wrap up's a great option. Why can't two things? Why can't you do it outside of universe mode, and why can't it be mapped to a button or a combination of buttons or stick or something where you can just press something and it knows to wrap it up? All right, next up we'll do some Benoit. Nope, not triple threat. Entrance is on. Okay, hopefully it'll stay that way then, right? And this one ought to be a little bit tougher challenge. Used to have the option also in a lot of the video games of having the same character just wrestle each other. Both of them have good graphics. They're sized properly. They're good color. And this one might take a little bit more. Liking the music.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 229 pounds, Chris Benoit.
Clearly prepared for anything in this match. Physicality, mind games.
All right, guys.
Nothing.
All right. I honestly, I just don't know if I want to even do this anymore. I thought it was a one-off glitch earlier today when the computer that I just brought back to Best Buy for 4 days locked up again, where I had to power off to get out of it. And it's doing it again now. And this is the second time. So what this means is that I can't even fucking stream reliably anymore. I'm just done. I just feel like the signs are there. I feel like the signs are there, and maybe this day has come and gone. I'm not having fun with it. At the end of the day, I am absolutely not having fun with it anymore. Everything from 2K to OBS to Best Buy. It's just not fun. Buffering doesn't bother me. That could be a problem with YouTube. My computer just randomly shutting the fuck down, that bothers me. Because I spent way too much money on this fucking computer for this to be happening. And I just gave it to them for 4 days. And the only solution is going to be to bring it back in again and what? Do what? I'm taking a break. Sorry, guys. I just can't. I just can't anymore. I've done all that I can do. It's not worth it. It just isn't worth it.